Hello, I'm Matt from LudoChrono, and today I'm going to give you an overview of RagnaRok Star. So RagnaRok Star is a collection game, set collection game, and also a planning game. It is a game for 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, and it plays for around 30 to 45 minutes. In this game, you play as a Viking rock band, and you have a concert hall you need to fill with fans, and you also have a band board, and this is basically your action board, and you're going to write on it with that felt pen, and you're going to plan your actions and sequence them accordingly. Obviously, you are going to tour over this country, and you are going to visit different ports to get different fans from there to fill your concert hall. So how do you play this? It plays in 7 rounds, and every round is played the same. So what you're going to do within a round, well, you're going to plan ahead. You're going to perform 1 action per Viking in your band, so you're going to perform 5 actions. So you're going to write down numbers from 1 to 5, 1 for each Viking, and this is going to be the initiative, the order in which you trigger your actions. So you have the basic action spaces, which are recruiting fans from the place you are in, or you have also the special actions. So the special actions are in yellow. They allow you to take contracts, which are another source of victory points. The eye allows you to look at some piles here. You also are able to move your ship because you tour, so you must move. You can steal fans from your opponents, shield yourselves from stealing, and also become the ice master and thus control the ice onto the board. So I'm going to plan ahead. So I want to move and to be there, for example, because I want to recruit there. So I will say this is my first action, and I will have to indicate my destination. So now my second action would be getting that fan here. So I would get that fan, so I will write the number 2. Sorry, my writing is bad. And then 3, I will probably try to recruit some younglings here. So if some of them spawn here, I'm lucky, otherwise, no worries. 4, I'm going to shield myself, so there we are, and 5, I'm going to take a contract. So everyone is going to be planning secretly and simultaneously their actions. After all players are happy with their programming, we are going to move on to the arrival of the fans. We are going to flip each of these cards, so 1 old fan card and 1 young fan card. So in this case, that shows what fans go where, and we are going to place new fans from there to the board. It may be 1 single fan or 1 fan per player on a specific area. So here that would be 3 fans here, 3 fanboys, and 1 fangirl here. So let me place those fans. Once the fans have arrived, we are moving to action. So every player is going to play their action number 1, then every player is going to play their action number 2, and so on and so forth. So in this case, my action number 1 is moving. So I'm simply going to move there because I have chosen that port. It is available. I've performed my action, and I can move on to my second action once everyone has resolved their action. In this case, I will take a fan, a gray fan, because this is what I chose. And when I take up fans, I'm just going to place them into my concert hall, and we have colors and types of fans here. And this is very important because that's one of the ways you're going to score points. Every time you fill a column, you're going to score 1 point, but every time you fill a row, you're going to score 1 additional point as well. So this is very important to balance those because you're going to need both to win the game and gain a lot of stars. So it is my third action now. I will be able to recruit 2 fanboys. The problem is we have no fanboys here. Fortunately, there is this ice glacier here. So obviously there is a malus. There is a malus. So instead of recruiting 2 fans, I have a malus of 1. So I will recruit 1 fan that comes into my concert hall. And that's it. I've performed my third action. Fourth action is a passive. I'm just going to shield myself from any stealing and theft. And fifth action is getting a new contract. So these contracts are very interesting. They get you from 1 to 3 stars. So you start with 1 contract, and they may be end game objectives that you have to meet or in game objectives. So for example, this one, You Really Got Men, is all about having more men, so boys and old guys, than the person on your left. And if you score it, if you manage to do it, you get 2 additional stars, two additional victory points. And for example, the one I had at the beginning of the game, paint it yellow, is simply if I chose all of the actions to be yellow and special and not recruiting any fans in the process, I would be able to reveal it, and that would score me an additional point at the end of the game. So once I have chosen my objective, my contract, my round is done and the other player finish their actions, and once every player is done with their 5 actions, we move on to the next round. Beginning at the second round, at the beginning of the round, we're going to use this glacier tile. So the player who has it, the ice master, is going to first remove one of the pieces of ice from the board and give it to a player. Then they will use the piece of ice that they had in front of them and place it onto the board to change its composition. Then if you want to take that piece of ice and become the new ice master, you will have to take that action. It is the yellow action from the last Viking. So you know all of the rules, the base rules of RagnaRok Stars. So the game ends after 7 rounds, and after 7 rounds you're basically going to score points for your contracts and for your fans here in your concert hall, and the goal is to be the highest on this track. If you are the highest, you win. Congratulations. That's it. You know everything about this game. So this is a game about planning ahead and managing opportunities and organizing, but also about stealing other people's thunder. So now, bye bye, and see you on LudoChrono.